They're all liars. They're all in it for themselves. They are all corrupt. So when it's proven they are, the general public go, well, I knew all that anyway.
Rachel Reeves did something in particular which I think is very interesting.
Did she update a CV?
Yes. So I think if you could maybe tell me what your understanding of this is, and I think my final question for you to answer on this one is, why has she not resigned as a result of this? So, because, sorry, no, I'll let you talk first, because I think that's a shocker for me.
I think, for me, this one is a little bit of a non-story. We've got a Chancellor who, like everybody else, has exaggerated and told little lies on her CV. Who hasn't done that? I've got a first class degree from Oxford University. Yeah, it cost me 30 quid online. So we've all done those things.
No, I haven't.
Right. Well, it's embarrassing for her because she's been caught out.
It's also embarrassing for you that you just admitted to our gentle viewers that you've been doing it to your CV.
I've not got a degree, so that was a joke.
Okay.
So it's embarrassing.
Could you tell our viewers what she actually did? Because they may not know.
My understanding is when she worked for HSBC, she claimed she was an economist. People who work with her say no, she works in the complaints department, and I believe she also works in a branch or something as well.
Well, she claimed she was an economist at the Bank of Scotland.
Yeah. She
in fact worked for the Halifax, which is a subsidiary of the Bank of Scotland, and she worked in the customer relations. Yeah.
So she's exaggerated her job there, but then she went on to work for the Bank of England as an economist.
Yes.
It's embarrassing for her, but out of everything that's going on and everything she's done on her budget, this is just one of is low level for me. I understand why they go on about it because it looks funny as well. You're a lie, you're not really that. I get it, but on the grand scheme of things, this isn't the important one.
And she's kind of doubled down on this by actually changing her LinkedIn profile to show the truth. So rather than just leaving it as it was, she's made it even more obvious by changing her CV on her LinkedIn profile. I think there's two things here for me. Is one, what happened to the good old days when ministers would resign if there was any hint of a scandal around them being untruthful or lying? What happened to those days?
When was the last time that happened?
It's a long time. I think that was probably the 80s, probably 80s, 90s.
The last time I remember someone resigning, well, that wasn't. I was going to say over the helicopter with Thatcher. What was it?
Oh, that was Heseltine.
Heseltine, but that wasn't. That wasn't a scandal. That was him going, I disagree. I'm resigning on principle. Yeah. But anyone in a scandal, I can't think of anybody because it doesn't happen anymore now. And again, it doesn't happen anymore now. It's because our morality as a nation has dropped. So a couple of months ago, we talked about some MP in Stockport Way, who was caught in a honey trap.
Yes.
And he didn't resign.
No, he didn't.
And he was, you could claim that honey trap was could damage national security because I think he sent on.
He was texting people's other MPs' details.
And one of them was in the defence ministry. So so people don't do it anymore now, and that's because the general public don't expect him to resign. You ask the general public about politicians. They're all liars. They're all in it for themselves. They are all corrupt. So when it's proven they are, the general public go, well, I knew all that anyway. So our morality's fallen so low that this is the class of politician we expect, and when we get it, we're not shocked.
It's a tragedy that we've fallen this far, isn't it? And it's a tragedy that the general public accepts this now and feel powerless to do anything about it. I think that's part of it. What did I say the second part? The second part of that is, the bit for me is, didn't she get her job in the Labour Party on the basis of her CV, as one does?
Not necessarily.
Because when it was handed over to Keir Starmer, he said, let me see your CV. Oh, she was an economist at the Bank of Scotland and at the Bank of England. Surely her job was predicated on the fact her CV appeared to show that.
It would have helped, but most appointments within a shadow government and within a government are all political. She brings this many voters on board. For her, she's a woman. She's going to be the first woman chancellor. So what do we get? The first woman chancellor? We get a liar. That's great for women, isn't it? So women only get good jobs now when they're liars. People like that damage the progress of women. So there have been lots of reasons, but one of them would have been she was an economist as well.